I remember it, it's just because, the next day was so crazy, like, we up middle of the night, or we gotta get up because the baby up, or like I ain't up, she up, but she mad as fuck because she up. But I know that she up because I feel it, in my head. Like I'm sleep, but I'm not sleep. I'm like, oh, she tight as shit. She gotta get up, and with the boobs out and shit all crazy.
Yeah.
But before that, man, we slept so blissfully, man. Like, you had time to dream. I get up, she sleep for like another 2 hours, 3 hours or whatever. None of that no more, man. We be up like 6:30 ASAP every morning. If one ain't getting up, the other one getting up, or somebody getting up and they crying and they wake everybody up, or one of them peed in the bed and then all of them up.
It's a
It's like
dang.
it's a perpetual Jenga building, and the blocks are always coming out of the wrong place. And, I guess, like our job is to make sure, them shits fall and don't do collateral damage, and they can pick the pieces back up and do it again.
Damn, man, that was that was some shit. That was some shit, man. I don't know. I might gotta go. That was a good joke. We're gonna get this joint started. I gotta start off that joint. That shit was good.
Hey.
Sí, señor. Anyway, no lo he juntado todavía.
Yo, Pop, let me get a cheese.
Yeah. Alright, I think we got it. Well, alright. Well, alright. Hey, my nigga ain't no need for that. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Long time to make it. This one for passion. Yeah. I see my life on high beams. The bright light focused on my dreams. Like helicopter spotted by the SWAT team. But I don't worry about a thing cause I'm clean.
You are silly.
Welcome. I'm your host, James Sag, and this is the Papi Store Podcast. The Papi Store Podcast gives a street corner perspective of Philadelphia at large. It's for the shared and relatable urban 215 experience. In order to go ahead and find the Papi Store Podcast, if you have any streaming application where you listen to podcasts, you have the Papi Store Podcast. Just make sure you go to their search bar, type in Papi Store Podcast, and you'll be able to find it. We're on Spotify, we're on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Google Pod, all that stuff. Check us out. And today we have another sturdy bull of the week joining the podcast. Now, little backstory. I like to start my little backstories when I start my bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Dig it.
Because we were just bidding and talking about kids and what it takes to be a father and all that type of stuff, which is all well and good. But when you have history with people and you see them or you experience things with them prior to these moments, these grown-up moments, it does take you back. It takes you back to I mean, sometimes it can be simpler times, but also it can be like hectic times. And but and we're going to get into some stories, but without further ado, I give to you my man, Mill. What's going on with you, man?
I appreciate it, good brother. Hey, look, I just wanted to tell you that it's not too often that I get to have a conversation with folks. Just being a full-time dad. Just getting caught up in the everyday hustle and bustle of your everyday life routine. So I really appreciate us actually, getting to have this conversation. And I'm looking forward to doing things like this more often. So, like I was actually like, this is where I should be. It's kind of like an oxymoron, right? Because I know I'm an introvert, I stick to myself, but that stimulation when you actually getting the idea off or when you relating with folks, it's something that's much missing post college. It's just like laying the smackdown on brothers, in 2K and Fight Night and all that. it ain't the same no more because I ain't got nobody to play, and I don't like playing the computer. So I be
Right.
in 2K just in the practice mode, just shooting J's, working on step backs and all that. But yeah, man, I'm happy to be here. Let's get it going.
That's what I'm talking about. And yes, you are a very introverted person. You've always been that way from, from when I've known you, whether it was in school or even being on social media. And I'm kind of the same way. And, it's because you're set in your ways. You just stick to yourself. You handle your business and, you just don't never get too high. You never get too low. You just right where you need to be, right in that pocket. But there's something to be said about that as well. And I'm happy that, we were able to link up. We saw each other on, in your neighborhood, and I'm gonna
Oh
get your
yeah.
background, let you know, like, where you're from and all that stuff. But when I saw you up on, what is that, 54th Street, up in
Mhm.
up in your hood, and I saw you, I was like, wow. It's nice when you see people and you can't think. All you have is good memories and good things to say about them, and you can introduce your peoples to them and stuff like that. So it was definitely a pleasant surprise to see you there, and I couldn't wait to go ahead and at least have some type of dialogue with you. And I'm happy that we're able to do it on this podcast. So
Let's
that
do
was
it,
that
bro.
was dope. That was
Let's
dope.
do
Yeah,
it,
that was
man.
definitely dope. So Milk, man, just tell the people a little bit about you. Where you from, man?
West Philadelphia, born and raised, pun intended. It's uh, I grew up in Winfield, um, 56 in Arlington, West Philly. Uh, Born and raised there, elementary, high school. Um, went to college with Dom, right? So we got to be around each other a lot. Whether it was in the rec, you know, balling. Whether it was up at the hut, me smashing the pizza, fried. Everybody having a good time. Whether it was at a house party, wherever it was at. Our school was a tight knit a tight knit circle, and because of that, um, we all kind of got to relate with each other, interact, and really just kind of share that whole college university experience together. Um, I'm an introvert, to say the least, but I'm a work in progress. Um, I'm a dad. I got 5 kids. Uh, Crazy thing is, like, all of my kids are like like kid models, so they out there in Target, Gap, Ralph Lauren, Nike, uh you know that. Yeah. Yeah, they out there. They
Okay.
out there. And the only thing that I'm really trying to do is keep my keep my foundational identity as I kind of grow into this into this person that I'm growing into in my late 30s. I mean, it's crazy to say, bro. Like, we about to hit
Mhm.
40. God damn, time
Yeah.
flies.
Yeah, but it's different though because we could look at when my parents was in their 30s and 40s and stuff like that. Like, they wasn't as lit as we were. You know what I'm saying? At least I can
Yeah.
go ahead. Like,
Yeah.
we're a little bit more lit. We're a little bit more hip to the stuff. So, like, we could get by. We could get by with some of the stuff we do. Cause I know my dad and my mom would, like, I'm out here. Like, and I know that they probably had their fun, but they wasn't moving and shaking like how I was and like how we are. So,
Oh, shoot. Like, one thing I can tell you, yo, is like the older I get, the more, like, you notice that the people that were your idols or the icons in your life, like them foundational pillars, you really start to see like the humanity of them when you get older and you can relate to their problems, because when you're younger you can't really relate to it. It ain't your
right.
business. You're supposed to stay out of grown folks' business. And they got that PR game on smash all of the way. And then when you get older, they can't hide the stuff, like, because
Yeah.
it just is who they are. But one of the things that I also notice with getting older is when you're younger, you look at those you know older folks, and you say, like, all right, that's what an adult looks like. So
Yeah.
when you get up to that age, you're like, damn, man, I'm gonna be, you know I'm gonna be looking like them. That's crazy. But when you get there, you're like, this ain't what I expected.
Yeah.
I feel a lot better at 39. You know what I'm saying? Like I got a couple grades, but you know, I can still get out in the court and the youngins still think I'm like, you know, early 20s or something.
Right. Right.
You know?
Yeah, so you know you ain't really lose no pep in your step like that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's
I
just
mean, I got a little cracking, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
yeah,
you
you
get
know
up.
that's cool. I got a little my little sciatica is like acting up. I had one of my kids walk on my back because I played earlier, so I had to
Mm,
get a little, you know. But
yeah.
but the ability to go ahead and to even be able to relate in these kids who are in their early 20s or their teens or even that transition and then now they're reaching 30 and you know there's people that's a little bit younger than you and they don't know where to go ahead and take it or how to move because those identities like you know like they don't understand their identity and how they're trying to operate out here for you to be a little bit even older than them to go ahead and show them like look listen man it's cool it's okay like I'm about to crack 40 but you see I ain't complaining like you know we still out here
No.
and you gonna be fine too.
Hey, right? Like fine wine better with time. That's what I try to tell you know, the OGs that come before us. And I just try to embody that myself, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm a big kid myself. I had a PS5 as soon as that joint came out. And I'm taking on all contenders. I'm lying. I'm lying. When I say I'm lying, just because like you know when I don't know about you, but you ever be online and you try to play like an online joint like a Call of Duty example, right? You get on.
I'll watch
I
myself
remember this
play. I'll
time,
sit back. Yeah, I'll sit back and
bro.
watch him.
Hell
And
yeah,
then
I will
okay.
sit and watch. I remember this one time I'm on Call of Duty, like you know I'm sitting there playing. You know I got a day off and shit. You know I got blunt. You know I'm chilling. Got my PS3 days, right? Couple
Mhm.
generations back. You know we sitting there playing. This little young boy keeps sniping me, right? So then I get mad. I'm like, damn, young boy, ain't you supposed to be in fucking school or something? He said, damn, old head, ain't you supposed to be at work? And I'm like, damn. Well played, youngin. Well
Yeah.
played.
Well, look, even just to have that type of dialogue, you know, to have the dialogue with the youngins where y'all can go ahead and relate in that type of way. That's kind of cool. So, what's up with you, boy? Yo, bro, they was out there tripping yesterday after that Phillies win, bro. Like, it was so many white people climbing the poles. I thought I was at Delilah's or something like that. Like, boy tried to make me pour beer in my shoe. But I was like, dickhead, these Balenciagas, you got me fucked up. Yo, that shit was crazy, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yo, for now on, I'm smoking this Phillies, yo. I'm smoking no backwoods, no Dutches, no Bluntvilles, only Phillies. For now on, bro. Dead serious, yo. Like, that joint was crazy, yo. If they win this joint, I'm gonna be up and down Broad Street. I ain't going past Washington Ave because them South Philly boys is crazy. But that joint was crazy, yo. Like, somebody was like, play the song. I was like, I'm on Broad and Lehigh, hoping you see me. Oh. That's kind of cool. So, you know, you're doing something special. You have, and I want you to go ahead and talk about winning, about what it is. How was it being able to come back into your neighborhood and even with kids, just like how you may be bitten with them online, introduce them to something that could go ahead and help them as they transition in life? How did that come about?
Um, well, you know me, bro. Like I'm always up to something. I always have something that I'm trying to do to crack the code in the matrix. Um, and just for an idea that kind of set me on this course on where we're at. So I got this men's group named the Wynnfield brothers in my neighborhood. It's basically you know all the homies that we grew up with, you know that we stayed tight with. Like you know once we actually linked up back, you know when we got older, we was like you know we really shouldn't just link up on some random shit. You know we should make it to where you know we can all not only stay connected but actually you know complement and grow with each other, right? So one of the things, one of the ideas that kind of germinated from that relationship that we were building was everything that we needed for economic independence was with the people. Like, you know, we really didn't have to go out there and, you know, make up some, crazy hustle. We could really, produce something that was going to be of service to, to the community. And if people rocked with it, then, the sheer numbers of the people would, be our equity, be our reward, right? So, we went off on this whole idea about like, what could we do to make Wynnfield great again,
Okay.
right? So we started doing a lot of things. We started doing turkey drives, Thanksgiving. We started Miracle on 54th Street, where we're giving out toys at Christmas. We got the neighborhood coming out. We got bags, set up. We got a Santa out there, taking pictures. Basically, trying to do, all of the little things that we could think of in a moment to really contribute and start getting the idea to the older generation in Wynnfield that, hey, look, we were serious and committed to, lending our time to make Wynnfield a place that they could be proud of, right? And the older generation actually really appreciated that, right? Like, they tell us stuff like, we've been waiting for y'all, for forever, and it's a glass of fresh water, like fresh air to actually, see you guys actually, coming through the way that you are. And the way that we actually got towards, working on the WYN was, we were thinking about starting a credit union, right? And we saw how much complications it was going to have as far as like, getting the charters, getting the certifications and everything that was going to be needed. And there's a bunch of systemic bullshit that we deal with on every level, right? So, when I really started, thinking about it, like I was already into crypto, like I got Ethereum, I got Bitcoin, I got SafeMoon, don't judge me. I'm saying I got, some things in the tuck, and I was always interested in the tech. But then when I started thinking about it, I was like, yo, what if we actually made a token that, the community could use to really take advantage of, these smart contracts, right?
Okay.
And when I start talking about smart contracts, I mean to apply it to our community specifically when it comes to keeping money circulating in our neighborhood, right? The problem that we have is, we get money, and instead of spending it in the neighborhood, we're going to go spend it, at Walmart because they're cheaper at Target. We're going to go to, we're going to go to Barney's, Saks, whatever it is. We're going to spend everywhere else except with the businesses in our neighborhood.
Now, listen. I want to go ahead and say this, not to cut you off, because I know. Because I know you're in this, and you'll go down the rabbit hole, like because you even sent me down a rabbit hole with some of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So for people who don't know, because cryptocurrency, it's something that people know. Just let them know briefly, if you can, like about a smart contract. Because I went and looked it up, and it's crazy. It gives it gives financial freedom. It gives equity on both parties. It's something like, when I got done looking at it, like I was talking to my girl, like, yo, this John is crazy. I couldn't see why somebody wouldn't go ahead and do something about that, and how it couldn't be applied to a number of almost anything. You know what I'm saying? So just give a little brief, just a detail of what a smart contract is.
A smart contract is basically kind of like I would say it's a computer program, but it's not really a computer program. It's more just like a set of instructions, right? It's a set of instructions that is published on a blockchain, and a smart contract coupled with the blockchain is what makes it so revolutionary, right? Because the blockchain is like this digital ledger that that basically keeps score of everything, right? It keeps an accurate score of things. You can't fuck it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't go in there and change it, because you're going to see exactly who changed it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not centralized. It's not one place where you can hack into on some Tom Cruise shit, change it, and change everything. because the foundation of it is decentralized, those records live on virtually everybody's computer that has, like a wallet that is kind of affiliated with, that blockchain, whether it's Bitcoin, whether it's Ethereum, Cardano, a bunch of the other things. But just to say, long story short, this smart contract makes it to where you can automate things and really cut out the middle person, right? Like we've needed these folks for not even decades. You're talking about centuries, whether it's banks, whether it's insurance industries, whether it's investment firms or what have you. We've always needed them because, you look at it like they're the professionals. But when you really break it down and you keep it for real, they only managing programs. They only managing, softwares, So like
It's accounting.
you just think, yeah, smart contracts cut out all of those folks, right? It is a major, major, major disruptor. And it's in its infancy. And because it's in its infancy, you're not really seeing it manifest in the way that it is going to manifest in the next 3 to 5 years. Like in the next 3 to 5 years, just to give you an example, I mean, just imagine, like right now, we all trade our time for money, right? And you know that your time is the most important thing that you got, right? Most valuable thing that you got, whether you want to spend it with your significant other, your kids, like a family that you don't get to see in a while, friends, or whatever it may be. You spend the majority of your time, on average, probably like, 5 to 8 hours for somebody else's dream.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And imagine if you could interact with a smart contract that basically says, all right, you're going to lock your money down for 12 months, but we're going to give you 5% every 30 days on your money, guaranteed. But your money has to be locked for 12 months. But you get your returns monthly. You just don't get to touch your money for 12 months, right? And just imagine what you can do with that, right? Like if you think about it, it's like, all right, some savvy folks going to be like, oh, word, I get a guaranteed 5%. Let me go get a loan. Go toss 100K in here, get 5K a month, guaranteed, right? Like that's somebody's full-time job. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. And I was like, even looking at it for, even if someone wouldn't, and I mean, if this turns into the Earn Your Leisure, the Hood Earn Your Leisure podcast, that's cool. I'm with it because I'm into all this type of stuff,
Yeah.
bro. Like, so it's cool.
Yeah.
But I was even thinking about, I was talking to somebody about it. I was like, it's funny even saying the middleman thing. Like, you could sign a smart contract with your job because think about it like this. You work 40 hours a week, but you're working. And so in the 2 weeks you work 80 hours, but then you have to work another week and then get paid for the prior 2 weeks. But if you have a smart contract, once you log in your whatever hours, what is the extra delay to go ahead and get paid once it's already been submitted? So say if you go ahead and you set those rules that, hey, look, listen, when you fulfill those 80 hours, once it's done and it's logged properly, why wouldn't I go ahead and just pay you? Why do I need ADP? Why do I need Carol and Human Resources to go ahead and to do this on Sunday or Monday, then get paid for something on Friday, which might not even be accurate because then once that's incorrect, then we got to go ahead and go back and you miss, so we got to give you retro pay. We got to do this. We got to do all these things. But with these smart contracts, and that was just the one thing I was looking at just for working people. Like for your job to do a smart contract, once you log your 80 hours or 40 hours, whatever it is a week, and then once you're done, it's in the ledger, it's in the system. We'll just pay you right then and there because it's done. You fulfilled whatever you needed within this contract to go ahead and get the compensation that comes from it. So. And I was thinking about even looking at things like leasing and renting properties, like all that type of stuff with it. So it was definitely eye opening, and I could definitely see how it is definitely going to be a wave of the very near future.
Yeah, that's the key right there. It's definitely the near future. There's something called Moore's law, right? Moore's law is like this. It's like this idea that talks about the pace of innovation, just to simplify it, right? So
Mhm.
we're kind of like at this point where technology is moving at a pace that, if you're not paying attention to it, you can really get lost in the sauce quick. But if you are paying attention to it, you just put your hand out, grab it, and go on for the ride. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And that's kind of like where we are right now. So these smart contracts are going to be a game changer for everybody. I mean, you remember back in, was it 2007, 2008, when Steve Jobs, he was on the on the stage, basically giving the keynote for the first iPhone, and he was introducing people to the App Store. And you can imagine how much of a change and how much of an impact the App Store had for us. I mean, for
Right.
Pete's sakes, man, look, I ain't grabbed no calculator. I just talked to Siri to tell me what's
Right.
what's
Right. Yeah, and you might be the first black man I ever heard say "for Pete's sakes," but
yeah, right.
but
Like,
that too.
crazy.
But shout out to Steve Jobs. If he did that, if he got brothers saying "for Pete's sakes" too,
For
but
Pete's
Siri and that,
sake,
but I feel you.
shit. like it's so much stuff that came from there. You putting your phone up in the air, looking at the constellations. I didn't know what the hell was in it. Like I knew, but I
Yeah.
ain't never pay attention to what was in the sky before. You got all types of apps. You got pregnant women. They can track the trimesters and all that other stuff.
Right.
Um, track your sleep. All different types of apps that you never even thought of with a darn Kyocera flip phone or a Star Trek, Motorola pager back in the day. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
That's that Moore's law right there. Like that pace of innovation, how fast it jumped to that level. And then you think you got augmented reality coming right behind that. Man, just imagine when the App Store came out, how big of a deal it was. That's how smart contracts are going to be. I mean, just imagine having an App Store of smart contracts where you just want to go figure out what contract you want to go rock with. And the the beauty of it is that the only thing that's needed is the trust of the people. Like once people actually understand how these things work and they understand that, this thing just really just kills the whole idea of trust and needing to trust that other party. It's it's going to be it's going to be a great beautiful thing for a lot of folks, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to be at the foundation of that movement with the win, and everything that we're doing is focused on smart contracts, and the blockchain, really just educating the folks in Winfield, not just Winfield, but just like anybody that's really going to be interacting with the win, to really understand where that technology is going.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. So with all this that doing, and because I can definitely say that this is something different that I know that I haven't, like, in 36 years I haven't heard of, but I'm even people in your neighborhood is something that could possibly be new to them. Like, what type of difficulties are you facing with trying to institute or incorporate this new way of thinking to to people who look like us? Because maybe to others and probably not so far fetched and it's something they can easily grasp, but for, like, you're our people, like, how is it being received?
It's actually being picked up well, not necessarily picked up because we're not we're not at we're not at the space where we want to say, like, we're fully out there, but it's kind of like the word on the street type thing building in Winfield. Like, we got posters hanging up in barbershops, and coffee shops, like the neighborhoods talking about it, city councils, like, what's the plans, what are you guys doing? What can we help you with? It's the reception has been great, man. And right now, basically where we're at is really trying to connect with our demographic, to kind of get them on board. So when we start moving, it'll be easier for us to, touch base with the OGs in the neighborhood, so they can see that, hey, look, this is something that that the youth is doing, but it's also beneficial for us too. So I don't think that we're running into too many complications actually with people actually understanding the concept because I guess you could say, what was it? 2020 had everybody kind of their radars were all up for crypto in 2020. It seemed like everybody wanted to, throw something in the market. That Wall Street bet stuff happened, like where you got like
Yeah. Oh, with the GameStop and
oh yeah,
yeah,
GameStop, AMC, you had all the
yeah,
apes,
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
that whole movement was just kind of like the average Joe on the blogs, basically like, yo, we could do this together. And then, you got the news amping it up. And then, like I don't watch the news, but I know a lot of people do watch the news. And, you get caught up in that FOMO. And that FOMO is the only thing that you really kind of resonate with. At least those that's how I feel the folks in the neighborhood. But once that time is over, the feeling still kind of sits with them with knowing that this is the next thing up, right? Like I think everybody and their mom know that, the dollar isn't what it used to be.
right.
Right? The digital dollar is right around the corner. But the problem with the digital dollar is we're running into a lot of the systemic stuff that we've been dealing with the regular dollar. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's just going to be hard coded into that, into how that currency is going to work moving forward. But we have this window where we can actually take advantage of these smart contracts to make up for one of the biggest problems we have in our community. And that's really trust, honestly. We don't trust each other. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody is really individualistic, trying to conquer the world by themselves, real, I wouldn't say self-centered, but, just from generations of the shit and trauma that we had to deal with, you always looking over your shoulder, you watching your back, you think that you can't trust anybody. And because of that, it kind of stifles any business innovation that we can do as a community to kind of Euro step all of this systemic stuff that we deal with on a decade to decade basis. These smart contracts kind of kick all of those issues out the curb. The only thing that we got to do is rock with them. That's all. And it do the work for us. I know it sounds crazy.
Well, no, you want to know what, and briefly, because this is funny. I did want to ask you this. So today I went to 10 Brothers Food Market on 18th and Venango, because sometimes I just like risking my life. I walked in and told myself, don't make any eye contact. So as I ordered my chicken cheesesteak on the Leapfrog tablet, I had to make sure I got all the right ingredients. Onion, bink. Mayo and ketchup, bink, bink. Salt and pepper, bink, bink. Finish him. Grab me a day's soda. Everything was going as planned until I picked my girl up from work. Oh, here we go.
You ate yours?
No, that's mine. Yo, what is you doing? What you doing? Shorty unrolled my cheesesteak like a backwood.
Yo, chill.
This one actually look like it's about to be good.
Yo, what is you doing? Dang.
Look at this side. I'm gonna bite this side.
What?
How's the day with that much view on it? They give this a 4.0.
Damn, 10 Brothers, she a tough critic.
You drawing, yo. You ain't even finished the other side. Yo, that's my soap.
Not my bad.
What you doing? Yo, you ain't about to say you wasn't even gonna clean the top off. You a savage. Crack my top, yo.
I ain't gonna drink a lot.
Well, there you have it. And the hood threat level was definitely on high. Until next time. So these new different variations of how we're going to do business with each other, how commerce is going to be done for the future. These things weren't around when our parents and our loved ones who are older than us, when they were coming up. So when you speak of this type of stuff, like what is the feedback from the people who raised you? Like when you talk about stuff like this, or just older folks who may only know about, listen, I keep my money, I got money under a mattress, or,
oh yeah,
how are they, how are those conversations?
Pockets big as hell, big ass wallets. And they happy to whip up that nut. Big ass wallet. You know what I'm saying? That joint like that.
Yeah.
Always walk around like that. You know,
Yeah.
like they be happy. They pull that thing out, like, what you talking about? You know, like they ready, right? But um the thing about these when I talk to folks is really letting them recognize that they don't have to do anything different. You really don't have to do anything different besides using um using using the token really or using the smart contract. It doesn't necessarily have to be a particular token, right? Because when these smart contracts start rolling out, like the win is actually, you know, is definitely going to be a big deal when these smart contracts, we're not going to be the only ones. It's going to be big corps that's coming out with stuff. It's going to be like small businesses that's coming out with stuff. The market's going to get flooded with it. And there's going to be all different type of ways you can interact with it. But for it to be truly beneficial for us, it has to be something that's done for us by us, or else there will always be like there will always be somebody taking something away from us out of our communities back to their homes, right? So just to give you an example, so every hood we got, right? You know, we got Papi stores, we got Chinese stores, right? You know, we got the Judy wig stores, you know, and
Right.
most of the time, the majority of these stores are not owned by us, right?
Right.
So it's crazy because when you really talk about shopping local, who you really shopping with? You know what I'm saying? Because we're not really shopping with our peoples. You know, you going up there, you shopping with Mr. U or you know, or Poppy or somebody that probably had a business there for the long time, but they don't live here. They gonna
Right.
roll. They gonna take the bread with them. They might ship it back to their country because you know they hustling over here to make a better life for them, and more power to them, right? They should be able to do that. You know, America's the land of opportunities, right?
Right.
But you know, the benefit is if we're actually using our own token and smart contracts, if the community is rocking with them, right? And the businesses, the small businesses are accepting the win, right?
Right.
Not only are they actually benefiting from people using the win because they're actually you know they're getting reflections, you know they're going it's they're benefiting, they're making money by actually holding the win, right?
Right.
But if they decide to say, okay, well, I'm taking this money out of you know this neighborhood and shipping it back to my country, it's cool. Why? Because with the you know with the smart contract, it's coded to have a 10% tax for every transaction, right? So it
Mm.
don't matter what they do. They could be using it in the neighborhood or they can be cashing out of the win. It's still going to reflect equity back into every token holder that is holding the win in that community. So they're never really taken from us. You know, they're always in that way, it would always be a benefit for us to actually have them using it. So it's a benefit for them to hold it, and it's also a benefit for us to actually use it in the community because we're all winning together that way.
We're
Yeah,
talking
just
about
imagine it, bro. You was out there with us, right?
right.
When we had the food truck festival in Wynnfield. Now just imagine this, right?
Right.
The Chinese store, was they out there supporting?
No.
No, right? They ain't even you know, they ain't even put a banner up, say, you know, welcome, this is Dan the Third, nothing, right? Like anytime that we're doing something like that in the community, it's business as usual for them. It's, you know, like we always kind of put the you know, we always send an offer out to all the businesses on 51st Street.
Right.
And, you know, for the most part, you know, it's like, no, we keep it strictly business. We not trying to, you know, kind of interact with y'all like that. So truth be told, it's a benefit for us to actually have the win and for them to accept it. But the overall idea is once people actually see the power that they have with actually a collective buying power and they can circulate their money with each other. The idea is for some small businesses to pop up out of that, you know, to germinate from that new foundation. Some businesses that can actually not only compete with, but potentially, you know, replace those businesses in the future.
All right. Well, Mill, man, you gave us a lot to think about. Um, guys, like I said, it took me. I probably looked up the smart contracts. When I told him I was going to do it, I did it in 30 minutes. I just researched about smart contracts and seeing how this is definitely the next, the now thing. I don't even want to keep saying next because right now we got somebody like Mill and his guys over at the WYN. They're doing it. Like, this is in the works.
Yeah.
It's happening. This isn't something that all right, maybe 5-10 years. Like, this is something that is happening and it's here. Definitely something to go ahead and look into, especially what you guys are doing. Like, so where can people go ahead and find you at, Mill?
Um, if you're talking about me specifically, I am looking forward to actually cannonballing into social media. Like I'm one of those folks. I be scrolling. I be like, yo, that's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. But like I have not actually put my head in to actually interact with folks the way that I feel that I should be. So on Instagram, you can catch me as Alpha Mill. If you're interested in a win, go to WYN today. It spells wintoday.com. Check it out. It's a dope site. You can check out the WYN paper. We got a nice presentation where you can actually get an idea of the concept. And we got a lot of things coming for 2023. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. Like, we're moving from word of mouth into expos next. So, we'll be in in these expos, really, spreading the word about the WYN, networking, getting in front of developers to kind of push this thing into the next chapter that we're working on. So I'm really excited about it, man. Stay tuned. I'm pretty sure we're gonna make everybody proud.
That's
For
what
the
I'm talking
culture.
about, man. And you know what? And I'm so happy because back when I met you in school, man, you was sending thousands over to Guatemala or Venezuela or one of these Spanish speaking countries. And I was scared, man. I
Hey,
didn't know if the cartel was
hey,
gonna come looking for you. We gonna listen.
hey,
I'm gonna get off the backstory because I ain't gonna give up too much tape. But me
it's
and Bill
crazy, man.
we
It's
go to
crazy.
Walmart. And we go to the Canada, we broke college kids, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not thinking like I never was going to Walmart to go send money. I was always picking up money. And I never met anybody who was sending money.
Yeah,
Never. So we go to the joint, go to the counter. He goes down to the counter and stuff like that. Like, yeah, I want to go send some money, and it was some bread too. It was a couple
yeah.
grand. I want to send this to. He sent it to. I don't know if he sent it to Mexico. He sent this.
It
He
was
sent this
it was Nicaragua.
Nicaragua.
Yeah.
So y'all know it. I don't be capping. This really happened. And we ain't gonna listen. And listen, I don't know if the statute of limitations is up, so we ain't gonna talk about
Hey,
it.
yeah,
But
no,
just
it's all good because now all of that stuff is like out in there. It's kind of like how the weed is, right? Like I'm in Queens, right? They got the weed
yeah,
stores up here, bro. Like it's kind of crazy. But back in our time, that wasn't the case, and it's the same
right.
thing with that move that we talking about. Like at that time, it was technically illegal to do what I was doing, but it wasn't. It was a Euro step basically because if I moved through Nicaragua, I could actually do what I wanted, and it actually worked beautifully until it didn't. And
I'm
when
like,
they
and I was just, my ear hustling was crazy. Cause I'm just sitting there, just chilling, like my man handling some business. All right. He said, yeah, it's just a couple racks. I'm like, where? Like, where's? I was like, yo, it was Nicaragua. So maybe on a part two, we
yeah,
can go ahead and talk about the story. But
yeah,
Mill, man, thank you, man. I'm so happy and thankful and blessed to see you doing well. I was so blessed to see you that day up in Wynnfield. And
likewise, man.
it don't be no cat in my raps, man. So when I go ahead and say, like, look, listen, we gonna go ahead and do something, and that's my goal.
For sure.
Stick to it, man. I can't wait to see what the WYN has to offer. I can't wait to see what you got going on, what you like, and how this thing is gonna progress. And thank you, man. Thank you. Keep doing your thing, man. You making everybody proud.
Hey man, thanks for having me on. And then remember, once we actually get it popping, I'm gonna be ringing your phone too. So hopefully we can have you on as well.
Oh yeah, shit, man. I'm here, man. You know, you said y'all got the gas up there in New York
Yeah.
now, so I'm up there, bro.
It's crazy, bro. Like they got it right behind the counter, right behind the counter. They be like, oh yeah, what you want? Yeah, they got the dispensaries. It's not just the dispensaries. It's like the Papi stores, bro. Like the Papi stores. They got this stuff called like what's it, Jungle Brothers. Like yeah, it's crazy. You got like the the day it was cultivated, when it was harvested. You got the scratch off on the back, Q skin. You see like the conditions of the it's nuts, bro. It's nuts. It's definitely you ain't gotta mess with them young boys no more. Like you ever had that? You ever had that situation where you call your guy and your guy taking forever to get to you? Like yo, man, what the hell, man? You messing up my plans. Like you ain't gotta worry about that no more. Just hit the store.
This the smart contracts.
Hell yeah,
Yo,
yeah.
thanks for pulling my coattail in this, bro. I appreciate you. I'm gonna get up with you. We gonna link and build more. All right.
Yeah, salute, bro.
All
Thanks.
right, well, peace.